To be on social media is to show the polished perfection of life. But sometimes life doesn't look like that. Through my films, I always try and find the meaning, the beauty in everyday moments. Sometimes things don't go to plan. Projects get abandoned. Ideas fall apart.
Oh, come on. No, okay, no, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work.
But that doesn't mean they weren't worth doing. I've always believed there's value in the process.
Face of a man who's determined, very determined, or just stupid.
Even if the outcome isn't perfect. So in this video, I want to share 3 unfinished stories. Videos I started, but never finished. And maybe, just maybe, there's something beautiful in that too.
I'm out here at the moment shooting a video for my YouTube channel. And it just hit me how much I actually love making these videos. It's my creative outlet. It's my way of telling stories. But the truth is, not every video I shoot makes it onto YouTube. Sometimes the idea wasn't quite there, or maybe I started it but just never finished it. For whatever reason, some videos just don't see the light of day. So in this video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna share 3 films that I started but never finished, and finally giving them the second chance they deserve. So in this first film, this was the film that inspired me to start making running content. We were all in lockdown and there wasn't much to do. So one day I decided that I'm just gonna run to Brighton. It was about 80 miles. I just threw on a backpack and decided to leave. It was gonna be called something along the lines of Crazy COVID Adventure. I don't know, man. I'm not good at titles. But here's the video. This is my last night before I go for my run tomorrow. I'm feeling pretty nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
So the idea was pretty simple. I would pack a bag and make my way to Brighton, taking only the essentials and buying what I needed along the way.
Can't believe this is all I'm going to be taking for the next 2 days. Just some snacks and 2 bottles of water. It's pretty exciting. I bought these really funky socks that are supposed to help your feet not rub together. That is gross. I think I'm going to cover those up with some normal socks.
I didn't really have a route for this adventure. I just typed my first destination into Google Maps and decided to follow wherever it took me.
And we're off. Here we go.
Running through the streets of London with no one around, it was honestly eerie. It used to be booming, busy every hour of the day. But lockdown had brought it down to its knees.
About 8 miles in, and my right ankle is already giving way. It's just a slight twinge every time I step on it. So I can imagine that's only going to get worse as this run goes. I mean,
I'm sorry you lost your bird and everything, but what is the chances of finding a bird in London and then catching it? It's going to be in a tree or something. You probably got more chance of finding a needle in a haystack.
And yeah, for a lot of people, these lockdowns were brutal. But I've got to admit, running through London like that, completely empty, it felt like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. A weird kind of privilege. I'll probably never get to experience anything like that again in my lifetime.
This run is turning into a bit of a walk. Both my knees have just completely gone. I thought this might happen. I'm struggling even to walk on them. They literally feel like they're about to snap. Oh, fuck's sake.
I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing back then. I just stuck a GoPro onto my harness and I just ran. And I didn't realise the camera would be shaky so much, and I only got about halfway and then my knee gave out because I had no idea you had to train for these long distances. I like to run and I've always run, but I've always just run about 5 to 10k, so I don't really know what I was thinking. Maybe lockdown messed my brain up a bit. But it was a good concept for an idea. The delivery wasn't there. I'll tell you what, this shed is becoming more of a beer drinking shed. And there's nothing wrong with that. As someone that watches a lot of YouTube myself, I'm always picking up inspiration from things that I see. And that might be van life, or some sort of crazy endurance run, or maybe some sort of eating challenge. I just love the idea of trying things that are a bit out there. Because let's face it, everyday life can get a little bit boring. So every now and then, it's good to shake things up. And that's kind of what this channel is all about. I'm always giving new things a go. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But that's all part of the fun, right? So this next video is a little bit out there, even for me. So I just got back from holiday, and man, I had a good time. Probably too much of a good time. I ended up overindulging and eating and drinking whatever I wanted, when I wanted. And what's wrong with that? I'm on holiday. But after only 5 days, I decided to go for a run. And it did not go well.
Oh shit. Seems like the first time I've ever had a run in my life.
And it got me thinking, is this the effects of overindulging for 5 days? Now I'm back home, I've decided I want to do a bit of an experiment. What if I was to do the opposite of a holiday? Instead of eating what I want when I want, what if I restrict what I can eat to one item? How many days can I go just eating eggs? This is the experiment. First egg of the experiment. Thought this morning I would have them scrambled. I've told a few people about the experiment, and they all think it's a bit crazy, or that it might be a bit too difficult to stick to just eating eggs. To be fair, it is a bit unusual, but it's no more crazy than going on vacation and overeating for a week, which no one bats an eyelid at. My only thing is, I don't even really like eggs that much. The challenge was simple. Eat train, and live everyday life only eating eggs. I wanted to see how my body reacted, how my energy would hold up, and honestly, how long I could last.
Oh, I would love to have one of those sausages. Because I need more eggs.
We've got eggs.
Sorry everyone, this guy. I wouldn't class that as a snack.
I'm sorry. Don't make him laugh when he's eating eggs.
I'm not quite sure what I was thinking with that one. Maybe it's because I just shaved my head and I kind of look like an egg. But honestly, that ended up being one of the hardest things I've ever tried to do. Yet, it was one of the most simplest things. Just to eat eggs. You didn't have to think about anything else. It was just eat eggs. And also, after halfway making this video, I just thought to myself, I'm just talking about eggs all the time. And then the sort of concept and meaning of what the video was all about kind of got blurred. So yeah, I put a stop to that one. Bloody eggs. Okay, time for the third and final film. Now, this one is probably the best example of the sort of videos I would like to make for this channel. And it's my favourite one out of the three.
Every day on my drive to work, I pass a bridge that crosses an A road, from one patch of bushes to another, this bridge. And every time I see it, I think, how do you even get to that bridge? Where does it lead? So in this video, I decided to find out. I planned a route to get there. But there's a twist. I'll only be using public footpaths to reach it.
Oh God.
No roads, no shortcuts, just the forgotten trails that crisscross the countryside.
Ow! Ow! Shut up, Alex, about bloody footpaths and get running. Okay. Well, here it is. The first footpath of the day. The first of many. Okay, here we go.
So by now, you're probably thinking, why footpaths? It's not just because they're peaceful or off the beaten track, but because these paths actually matter. In the UK, thousands of historic paths are at risk of being lost forever. The government set a 2031 deadline to officially record every public right-of-way, but they left it to the landowners to register them. And, well, it's not exactly in their interest to do that. So many of these routes could quietly disappear.
Right, I've hit my first road. This is a big gap in the footpath. Obviously, these footpaths are never going to be continuous as we've built up, you know, civilization, and we've built new areas and villages and towns. We've obviously built over a lot of these footpaths. So I don't know how many roads I'm going to have to cross today.
Running them now feels like a small way to acknowledge that they're still here, still being used, still part of the landscape we all have a right to.
It's the right to be outdoors, and I will fight for that.
These paths connect more than just fields and forests. They're our last right of way that we the people have to use to access the countryside. and I think they're worth holding on to.
Okay, so I'm approaching my second road of the day. Maybe I figured out why people don't want to use these footpaths. This is going up an absolute dog of a hill. Probably doesn't look like much in the camera, but it is like that. I'm so out of breath. Oh man. But again, none of this is signposted. Maybe the locals know about some of these paths, but if you was here visiting for the day, you definitely wouldn't think you could come up here. Look at this one. Now, to you, does this scream, you are welcome to come in? But apparently you are. That does not look inviting at all. I feel like the landowner put that up begrudgingly, you know? Like he's been told by law he has to have right of access, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna make it look really intimidating. But I need to go this way, because if I'm gonna get to this bridge, I think it's this way. I've got a loose plan in my head.
Some people might see spending a whole Saturday running to a random bridge as a waste of time. But for me, it's just another excuse to explore, to discover new trails and places I never would have found otherwise.
Oh no. I've hit another road. This is my third road so far. Sort of lost count of what number footpath that is. You know you're in the countryside when you start seeing windmills and shit. That is crazy. I can hear the A road. I think I've made it. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Round and round we go. Round and round we go. Twisty bridge. Yes! This means absolutely nothing to no one. And I get that. I think everyone should take the time to go out there and make their own meaningless adventure. Because you never know where it might take you.
I love that video. I think that's so good. I love the idea of just putting a twist on something so simple, but going out there and doing something that you don't do every day. I love that twist on it. But the thing with this video was there just wasn't enough there. I think when I finally got a story put together, it was about 6 minutes long, and it wasn't fully flushed out to be a full-on video. And also, I totally missed it, but I was in the Icknield Way. I was running part of the Icknield Way. And when I Googled it later, it was one of the first roads in the UK. You know, one of the first roads that the Romans built. And it goes all the way from bloody the Chilterns to where I was, all the way to Thetford. It's about 110 miles long. And I thought, wow, that's a way better story. Why am I not talking about that? So who knows? Maybe one day that will be a video. So yeah, 3 unfinished videos. They might have never made it to YouTube on their own, but together in this one video, they show something that I truly believe in. The beauty of the creative process. And I don't think that makes them failures at all. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing something you truly love, is it ever really a waste of time? Who knows? Who knows? Who will ever know? As I walk into the distance, as I'll make the picture fade into black and the music dip down, and I slowly walk away, and eventually we'll have to walk back for the camera. Gotta walk all the way bloody back. Oh, God. Oh, I did press record. Do you know how many times I do this and I haven't pressed record? So annoying.